Hey guys, this is Mr. V, doing a book review today for The Boys in the Boat, 9 Americans and Their Epic Quest for Gold at the 1936 Berlin Olympics by Daniel James Brown. So now I'll be doing the book review today for The Boys in the Boat, and as you can tell from the title, it's about these 9 Americans who are actually part of a rowing team, and they want to get gold at the 1936 Olympics. So this is a non-fictional book, and the author, he starts it out in 1933 in the United States. And he just says, in the United States at the time, we were in the Great Depression, and he sets that tone immediately. From the stories he presents, you almost just feel the Great Depression immediately. And, it kind of makes you tear up. It really does. You can tell it was a very tough time. And the author does a great job of just like showing you that right from the beginning, what it was like in 1933. Years before the Olympics. The other area that he shows in that time is he shows what it was like in Germany in 1933, because at the time, Germany was actually, the Nazis were on the rise. They were not the powerhouse that we think of like during World War II. They were on the rise. And you could see why, the reason Germany wanted to host the Olympics. He discusses it in the book, because actually Hitler did not want to host the Olympics initially. It was one of his main men, Goebbels, who decided that it was best they host the Olympics, and you see those reasons why in the book. And, it's a lot of fun doing that, and you can tell just from the few things right from the beginning that this author did a tremendous amount of research. You can just tell he just did a lot of research, and in the book he even includes pictures. Like he includes pictures, and these are pictures from the 1930s of like the rowing team and like the coaches of the rowing team, the lakes that they were rowing on. And again, these are like, the book starts in 1933 and it goes 34, 35, and he shows all the pictures of that. And he presents a lot. And I think the author presented this very well, because he gives like great, like complete historical context, in that you don't need to know that much history before going into the book, yet you will still really enjoy the book. Because in the book, he gives a great description and a brief description of like all the things you need to know. Like, for example, you will learn while reading this book, you will learn about rowing. Like, I didn't know about rowing much, but like I didn't know how complex it was and how hard it actually is. But you also learn about like what life was like in the 1930s for most Americans, and you learn about the Great Depression, and you learn about many aspects of the Great Depression, and then you learn about the rise of Germany and basically the rise of the Nazis, and like why they wanted to host the Olympics, but also what they had to do to host the Olympics, because there was a lot of propaganda going on. So you learn all that, and you can see the amount of research this author did. And he presented it so well, and he wrote it so well, because you basically know the result. I mean, look at the title. You know the result. And it starts in 1933, so there's all these years that he talks about things, and in those times, he talks about all these different stories. I mean, there's basically a main guy that it revolves around. The guy's name is Joe Rance, and he's on the rowing team, and it revolves around him. But like, you learn so many different stories about like Joe's life. You learn about who he's dating, you learn about his family, but then you learn about his rowing team, and you learn about the coaches, and you learn about some things just for the average people, but you learn about some things that are happening in Germany among the top officials there. And you're learning all these things, yet you never feel overwhelmed. That's one great thing. You never feel overwhelmed. And it's a lot of fun, and like he just presents it very well, because he keeps your interest, and that's why it's a lot of fun. And I think it's because like you go through different emotions when reading this book. Like when, good or bad things happen, you sometimes will feel sad. If something bad happens to Joe, you feel sad. Or when something good happens, or he gets a victory, you feel kind of happy. And surprisingly, you even feel the nervousness during these boat race or these rowing races, because again, this starts in 1933 and it goes through the 1936 Olympics. So during that time, there's many different races, not only to get on the team, but then they're having to face different universities. They're trying to win different cups in 1934, 1935, and even trying to get to the Olympics. And you feel that like kind of nervousness before the race, and even when he's describing the race, it feels like you're literally watching the race, and you feel those like that nervousness, and because you don't know who will win. And I'll let you know that there's times where they lose. So it's like that's what's just a lot of fun about this book, is that you feel all these things and it keeps your interest. There's just a lot of fun elements to it, and it is just so well written and so well researched, and that is why that I highly recommend this book. I actually recommend this book for everyone. I think everyone can find something in this book that they'll love about it, and that I think everyone will actually have a lot of fun with this book. Not only do you learn a lot about the rowing and the competition of the Olympics, you learn a lot about the history, but you have a lot of fun in that you get to see what it was like for like the everyday person back in the 1930s. And you just, again, everything is just so well put together that I highly recommend that you guys go out and get the book, The Boys in the Boat. If you guys have any questions, have any comments, please post them in the comment section below. I hope you guys click the subscribe button. I always post new book reviews, but thank you for watching my book review today. This is Mr. V. Go enjoy reading.